Hey golf fans, this is early 1981 and welcome back to the channel. So as promised, now that I have all skill points unlocked and I am level 50, I will be showing you guys what skills I use, the archetypes I recommend to use with these skill sets that will also complement the club fittings I have currently unlocked. So our first look is the driver. I am using the Trailblazer level 3. This gives normal shots a swing path boost off the tee. Now to activate this, I must miss 2 fairways in regulation, and it deactivates by hitting 2 fairways in regulation in a row. Up next is Fairway Finder level 2. This is where normal shots receive shaping boost off the tee. Activation, hit 3 fairways in regulation. Deactivation, miss 2 fairways in regulation. So you are starting to see a common theme, a common pattern with my skill sets here. Next one is tee time level 3. Normal shots receive a timing boost off the tee. For me, this is massive. Activation is poor swing timing 3 times, and deactivation is hitting 2 fairways in regulation in a row. Up next is off the deck. I've left this at level 1. Normal shots receive a lie range boost off the fairway. Activation have a good swing timing 3 times. Deactivation score par or worse. This is good for hitting driver off the deck on the fairway. Then we have Aerodynamics level 2. Normal shots receive a flight boost off the tee. Activation, hitting into a headwind 10 mile per hour or greater. Deactivation, hit 2 greens in regulation. We then move on to Tee and Crush It level 3. This one is so important to me. Normal shots receive a power boost off the tee. Activation, hit a carry distance of 275 yards or greater. Deactivation, score par or worse 2 times in a row. Then we will look at the final skill set in the driver category. Take the wheel level 3. Normal shots receive a transition, swing path or timing level 3 boost off the tee. And this passive effect skill is always effective, and I think it's a fantastic asset to have. We will be looking at the woods. Up first is off-grid level 2. This is where normal shots receive a lie range boost from the heavy rough. Activation is miss 3 fairways in regulation. Deactivation, hit 2 greens in regulation. This really is another handy skill, especially improving your lie from the heavy rough. Then we have rangefinder level 2. Normal shots receive a transition boost from the fairway. Activation, hit 3 fairways in regulation. Deactivation, miss 2 greens in regulation. I didn't think it was necessary to put a lot of skills into the woods, so here's the final one, Forester level 3. Normal shots receive a transition level 1, swing path level 2, or timing boost level 3 from the fairway, and this is one of the passive effects that is always active. I don't use a hybrid, so we've left that blank, and it allows me to invest more skill points into more important club selections. So let's move on to the irons. Up first is the Agrostologist level 1. Normal shots receive a lie range boost from the heavy rough. It activates with scoring bogey or worse 3 times. Deactivates, score par or better once. Next up is the Beach Bum level 2. Splash shots receive a timing boost from the bunker. Activation have poor swing timing 3 times. Deactivation have good swing timing twice. Very, very handy. We all know how difficult it is to play from the sand. Up last is Metalhead level 3, where normal shots receive a transition level 1, swing path level 2, or timing level 3 boost from the fairway. These passive effects are always active. Let's move on to the wedges. We have the Aronologist level 1. Splash shots receive a timing boost from the bunker. Activation have poor swing timing 3 times. Deactivation have good swing timing once. That's another handy skill to have. We then have Perfect Pitch level 1. Pitch shots receive a spin boost within 101 yards of the pin. Activation, score birdie or better 4 times. Deactivation, score par or worse once. Bump and Run level 1. Chip shots receive roll boost from the heavy rough. This is handy. Activation, score bogey or worse 3 times. Deactivation, score par or better once. Up next is Floptastic level 2. Flop shots receive a shaping boost from the heavy rough. Activation, miss 3 greens in regulation. Deactivation, score par or better twice. It's another very handy skill set. We then move on to Double Major level 3. This is where normal shots receive a power boost from the fairway. Activation, hit 2 fairways in regulation. Deactivation, miss 2 greens in regulation in a row. And for me, this is another vital piece in the cog for this build. Last up is higher degree level 3. Normal shots receive a transition level 1, swing path level 2, or timing level 3 boost from the fairway, and these passive effects are always active. Last but not least is the putting. Short stuff level 3, receive a putt path boost on the green. I'm sure you all seen my putt line, it needs help with that. Activation, sink 2 putts from within 5 feet. Deactivation, score par or worse twice in a row. We then move on to Pathfinder level 3. You receive a putt weight boost on the green. It's another really helpful and necessary skill set in my opinion. And activation is miss 2 putts between 5 and 10 feet. Deactivation, sink 2 putts in a row between 5 foot and 10 foot. Then we move on to the Easy Reads level 2. Receive a putt path boost on the green. Activation, land within 3.7 yards of the pin. Deactivation, score par or worse twice. The last of the skills is for Doe level 1. This is where you receive a roll level 1, putt weight level 2, or putt path level 3 boost on the green. These are passive effects and these skills are always active. Let's take a look at my archetypes. First up, and this is the one I highly recommend, is Sculptor. Strength is shot shaping, weakness is distance control. The stats are power 73, timing 64, swing path 76, transition 62, shaping 81, lie range 67, putt path 60 and putt weight 70. But the best thing with this build is it is a hybrid and it complements the 3 archetypes I am recommending here. Up next is going to be Woodsman. Strengths are recovery shots, weakness is putting, power is 70, timing is 67, swing path is 64, transition is 73, shaping 76, lie range is 81, putt path is 62 and the putt weight is 60. The final archetype I do recommend, and this is purely dependent on the fittings you have, is Rhythm. Its strengths are swing difficulty, weakness is carry distance. That's why you need suitable fittings. Power is 60, timing is 81, swing path is 76, transition is 62, shaping is 64, lie range is 67, putt path is 73, and putt weight is 70. The big negative about this archetype is the lack of distance you will have unless you do have adequate fittings to improve the distance on your clubs. So let's take a look at the fittings, the final aspect in this build. Up first is my driver. This is arguably the best fitted club I do have in my bag. It does carry 292 yards. Let's have a look at the fittings. On the head, I do have the power, very, very handy. I'm gaining on power, swing path and lie range. The only 3 stats I am losing out on is shaping, which is -1, timing, which is -2, and transition is 0. But I found that this club really, really works for me with this current build and these fittings. Let's have a look at the shaft. I do use swing path plus 11. This is a fantastic fitting to have. Power, timing, swing path, lie range, all drastically improved. The only ones that is dropping down is transition and shaping. And then we move on to the grip, where I do have swing timing plus 12. I lose 4 power, but my timing, swing path, transition, shaping, and lie range all gain stats. Let's have a look at my 3-wood. 260 yards it does carry. It's another club that I've got decent fittings on. Up first, I do have power plus 11 on the head. Power, swing path and shaping all gaining points. We are losing out on timing, transition and lie range, but it really is another club that suits my style of play with those fittings. Then we move on to shaft, swing path plus 7. All my stats gain here: power, timing, swing path, transition, shaping and lie range. So why would you not have this on your club? And then up last is the grip, where I am using timing plus 8. I am losing out on power, but timing, swing path, transition, shaping and lie range all vastly improve. Let's now take a look at my 5-wood. Pretty well fitted out as well, to be honest. Carries 241 yards. Let's check out the fittings. Up first is power, which I do have plus 11. So we are gaining on power. We are gaining on swing path, shaping. We are losing out on timing, transition and lie range, but our build does complement that and corrects that. Up next is shaft. I have opted for the power, where we gain 8 on power. We are losing out in timing, but swing path, transition, shaping all gain vital stats, and we do lose 1 point on lie range. And then we move on to grip, where I am using the timing fitting. Power loses out, but the timing, swing path, transition, shaping, and lie range all vastly improve. Very, very handy fittings to have with this build. Then we will take a look at the irons. The irons are all the same fittings. My 4-iron carries 208 yards. I don't have the best of fittings on these clubs, as you can see, but on the head we do have the transition +7, where my power, timing, swing path is not gaining anything. It's neutral. Transition, shaping, and lie range all improve. Fantastic fitting for me. The best fitting I do have, as you can see, I don't have the best of fittings. It's a luck, it's a lottery. On the shaft, I do have +10 timing. I do lose out in power, but my timing swing path gains vastly. Transition loses 3 points, shaping +4, and lie range +3. And last, we do have the timing. Now, you may be baffled at this one, but I do want to have good timing stats. Not the best of fittings, but it's the best I have available. We do lose out in power and swing path, but timing, transition, shaping, and lie range all gain points and stats on that one. Up next is my wedges, and I try to be a very accurate player, so the fittings are very important to me on here. So on head, I do have transition +7. This is a very good fitting to have. It gains me power, timing, swing path is neutral, transition +7, shaping +5, and lie range +2. Really improves the pitch and wedge stats there. Then we will have a look at the shaft. I am using timing +10, once again, just to be very accurate. This is another handy fitting. I do lose out in power, but my timing, swing path, shaping, and lie range all vastly improve. We are kind of losing out in transition, but the build does counteract that. And up last is grip, where I have went with power, which counteracts the lack of power I do have. So we are gaining 10 on power, losing 3 on timing, swing path neutral, transition +7, shaping -3, but I am using the sculptor, and lie range +10. Let's have a look at my gap wedge. It does carry 125 yards. The fittings I do have enabled are as. On the head, you've guessed it, timing +10. We lose out in power, but we gain on timing, swing path, transition. Lose out in shaping, but once again, the sculptor stats correct that, and we lose out in lie range. Let's see what I do have equipped on shaft. You've guessed it, timing +10. Losing out in power by 3, but timing, swing path, transition, shaping all vastly improve. We do lose 1 point on lie range. And then up last is timing +9. Gaining on the timing, swing path, transition, shaping, and lie range. We do lose out in power. All my other wedges have the same fittings. My sand wedge carries 112 yards and my lob wedge 96. So let's take a look at the fittings on my putter. It is something I do struggle with. My putt path isn't the greatest, so I have opted with the +6 putt path on the head, where I gain 6 points in putt path and 2 points on putt weight. On the shaft, once again, I've went with putt path. I don't have the greatest of fittings available, but it is a fitting that I do feel helps me. I'm gaining 8 points in putt path, but losing 3 points on putt weight. And then up last on the putter, we will take a look at the grip, and I have went with putt weight +6. I gain 2 points on putt path and 6 points on the putt weight. But that is it for today's video, guys. I do hope it helps you improve your game or get you thinking about your own build. I will leave you with my club selection and yardages that I am just flicking through. But if this video did help you, please make sure to smash the subscribe button. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And until the next video, take care, peace out, and love you all. Bye.